Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another fine edition of the Save Stop 3 Gamescast. I'm your host, EOF Gives Me, joined this week by Mass of the Daz, Chris Pengi,
Hey everyone.
and back from the dead, Mr. Craig Warren.
Dave, I'm 50% limb slip.
What a great,
Lemon slip at this point.
great start for Craig.
50% Vicks nasal spray.
I thought you was going to go into the
100% masculinity at this point, Dave.
I thought you were going to do like Psycho Sid promo.
I thought he was going to go full Steiner. I thought he was going to be like, well,
yeah.
Pengi, you stand 30%.
The greatest man that's ever lived.
What, Austin Aries?
Oh, God. Bring back TNA. Anyway,
Man that rules the world.
We ain't talking about total non-stop action wrestling. We're talking about
Or Psycho Sid.
Nintendo, which is Craig's favourite subject. So I'm buzzing today. So we're not doing the Pengals news tech this week, and we apologise.
Put in your comments.
We apologise
to
to Chris.
Section. It's all your favourite.
Well, we can do a breakout video at some point at 2 a.m. I'll grab Chris and we'll just sit there, gun to his head, and he can record it.
Yeah.
We've just been, me and Craig have been unavailable, so it's mounted up. We don't really have the time, but we need to get something out before the Switch 2. So we apologise to Chris, but we do appreciate everything Chris does, and we love him very much. But what Chris Pengelly does love, segue, is Nintendo Directs. So we're going to talk about the little one that just happened, that they literally dropped, as we predicted. I think they would.
The February Direct.
In March.
February Direct in March.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that now with our resident Mr. Reader Outer, Mr. Craig Warren.
Yeah, boys. So we had what actually was that? It wasn't last week.
It was last week. It was on the 27th.
Yeah, and it was at like 2 o'clock or so, wasn't it as well? Is that a really awkward time of the day?
It's the same. It's going to be the same for the Switch 2 Direct. 2 o'clock our time, 6 a.m. in the States.
This is why I work from home, boys and girls.
Yeah.
Not ideal. Not ideal at all. We did all eventually watch it, I believe. And we started with a hot start, boys. We had Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake, which is a mouthful today. We've seen this before. I think this was announced last year.
Yeah, it was announced with the third one, which is the first one.
Oh, it was, wasn't it? It was announced at the same time.
But I think this is the first time we've seen footage, I think, of this one.
Yeah. Although it does very much, like, these games all look the same now, these HD games. They really do all just look the same. I'm sure I've seen these sprites before. I'm sure I've seen these environments before. We might need to start doing something a little bit different there. I don't think any of us played the third remake, did we? I'm pretty sure. I think Mike talked about it a lot, and it sounded very old-fashioned and very grindy. So that would put me off straight away. If you boys did play the third one and get through that, you go. Either of you want to play the first and the second one, all in one go?
It's a possible. It's like you said. I would have to play the first in the story, being the third one first, and then go from there. If it comes to either really cheap, or it comes to plus, or it's on a humble bundle deal, or Game Pass. I don't actually know if it's on Xbox Dragon Quest 3 HD.
It is.
That sort of thing. If I play it through that and then like, oh yeah, it's really good, then I'll possibly buy 1 or 2. But yeah, until I played that, not really interested.
I won't get the time, Craigo. How about you?
No, definitely not. Like I said, any coverage I saw of this is that they didn't like modernize it at all. Essentially, it's very old-fashioned. Very oldfashioned.
The same as Dragon Quest 11. Was it 11?
Yeah, but this looked even more. There's a lot of just wandering around in fields and then just the random like battles. You're like, oh god, I don't know if I can.
Yeah,
proper video games.
Yeah, that might have been fun in whenever the hell this came out, but I don't know. I don't know if anyone's got time for that nowadays, really, unless you are the hardcore JRPG guys, right? And then we had another nice easy one to say, boys. We had No Sleep for Kaname Date from the AI Ammonium Virus, which I don't think they actually said is AI. I think they said A?
I think like AI is one word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's AI to me, personally. these AI Simonian file games, isn't there a few of these that they always
Yeah, this
do
is the
well on
third
like
one.
visual novels or something like that?
Mm.
I did think this could be Points and Fantasy Boys, but no one took it. Because don't they always do well?
I think they do quite well.
I feel like this is the sort of game that Pengi would talk about a lot and then never play.
Oh yeah, I bought one of them and never played it.
Yeah, that sounds exactly what I was expecting to happen there. And me and Dave wouldn't. This is the first time I've ever actually seen one in motion, and it was exactly what I felt like I was expecting to look at. Here we go. The AI, the Simonian files, the first one got an 81, boys,
There you
Hmm.
go.
What about the second
and
one?
then the second one is, I'm guessing,
Nirvana.
Nirvana Initiative.
Yeah,
That's an 86, boys.
yeah, with a
Points to me out there.
94% recommended. Yeah, yeah, they're
Points to me
supposed to
out
be
there.
very good. Like one of the best of the genre. So
There's lots of waifu
Yeah.
bunny ear girls, so
Exactly, and people love that shit. And it's got a date, I think, as well, the
yeah,
25th of
it's
July.
July. Yeah.
So that's pretty soon. So yeah, if your boy hadn't used up all of his spots for fantasy, that could have been a contender right there. And there might be another one which I did think about as well, but you know, your boy has used up a lot of spots. After that, though, boys, we had more JRPG remaster remake things from Atlas this time, though. And this is Raidu Remastered, The Mystery of the Soulless Army, which is... if you told me that was an AI made title, I would believe you, personally.
Hmm. But
But
the
it looked like...
original title was actually Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner 2, Raido something or other of the Soulless Army. So they've took 4 words away from it, Craig.
Yeah, that
And a
sounds even
number.
worse.
And a number.
This is some sort of real-time, you're playing as a detective thing, though, right?
Mhm.
Detective Devil Summoner?
Mhm.
I'm going to assume none of us played this back in the day, whenever this came out in
No, I didn't play it on
1952 or
PS2
whatever it
back in
was.
the day.
No.
I wasn't
Um,
deep into PS2 be buying this. Like I never even played Final Fantasy X, let alone this.
but you two do love buying an Atlas game,
I'm not
right?
looking at this game.
Yeah. You know where I'm going with this. So, Pengi, have we got this pre-ordered? Because it comes out on the 19th of June.
No, I haven't got it pre-ordered. No,
No, not tempted?
no.
Oh, wow, okay. Wow. Fuck
It'd be
Atlas. Fuck's sake.
hilarious if it's the same comes out the same day as like the Switch 2 or something, and it's like I'm obviously
Launch
not
game.
going to walk into game, but I walk into game and I'm like, yeah, I'm here to Raiden remastered, please for my PS5. Thank you.
They would think you were speaking Swahili or something at that point, I think, Pangles.
Yeah.
They'd probably order you a doctor.
Oh yeah. Like, what's this man doing? Only people coming in for Switch 2s today.
What about you, Dave? Are you going to delve into this gem from the Atlas back catalogue?
no, because it's not turn-based. I don't play no stupid ass action games. There's enough turn-based SMT games I haven't played, let alone the non-turn-based ones.
There is a black cat in the image I'm looking at there.
Yeah.
We do like
I
black cats,
wasn't-
don't we?
I was a little surprised that they've got rid of the SMT name and the Devil Summoner name.
Yeah.
Like, if you saw that in the shop, you'd be like, if you saw the SMT name, you're like, oh, I know that series as something. But then, if you're a certain person that would know the SMT name, you might probably know what this is. So, maybe it's all relative.
Yeah, I've never heard of this, ever. Have any of us even heard of this before this showcase?
I've heard of Devil
Did any of
Summoner.
us know this existed? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. One thing we have all heard of, though, boys, after this, is Pac-Man, right?
Mm-hmm.
And since we started this show in 2002, every episode Chris Pengelly has said, God, I wish I wanted a Metroidvania Pac-Man game.
A
Where I
grim,
can-
dark Metroidvania.
Where I can turn into a weird mech thing and pound on shit. And eat
Yeah.
enemies and consume them. Well, Pengles, you're finally getting your wish, because Shadow Labyrinth, which was announced, was it earlier this year or last year? I don't know, but we did have the Amazon anthology TV show animated, which I've completely forgotten the name of.
Secret levels.
Which
secret
ruins
level
the whole
episode.
twist of the game, by the way.
Yeah.
But they're going to spend the whole trailer being like, "Oh, there's a dark secret at the end." It's like, yeah, we've seen the show, we know what it is. Cool.
Yeah, but we did actually get some real look at gameplay, and we did get a date of the 18th of July. I thought it looked quite cool, boys.
I think it's ugly as fuck. I really, really hate the art style.
Dave hates Pac-Man. He said every episode.
Yeah, but
There's
well known
600
for
we've done.
hating Pac-Man. Me, but yeah,
Yeah, especially
yeah.
Miss Pac-Man.
right.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
what a woman, eh? What a woman. But yeah, the art style's terrible. It just looks
Wow.
cheap. Just looks
Dave's a
really
hater.
cheap. I am.
It does look cheap. Yeah, I will.
I
I'll give
hate
you that.
everything.
But hopefully it is cheap then.
Yeah, that's where I was kind of going with this because I don't know if there's.
But
a
I'm
price
sure
on
I've seen a
considering there's date.
physical of it though, so it might not be cheap.
No.
Unless the
Oh,
physical is like
God.
25 quid or something like that. And like, yes. Yeah, physical, 25.99 in Argos. So there you
It's not
go.
an awful price.
That's not too
no.
bad. I
No.
was hoping like £16. £16 like the sweet spot for this sort of game. I feel. For me.
Mm,
That's
yeah.
enough to lure me in a bit.
Yeah.
Are you lured in, Pengi? You buy everything.
Sort of. I don't
And there's
think
a
I'm
physical.
going
You love a physical of this sort of game.
I do. For 25 quid, it is tempting
He's
for a
pre-ordered it. He's going to
physical.
pre-order it by the end of the show, Dave. I can like near it in his
I
voice.
don't think so, because it's coming 18th of July. I would pre-order it nearer then, if I was getting it. But yeah. For 25 quid, it is tempting that it's getting physical. If it's digital only for 25 quid, then I think I would feel like you, Craig. I'm like, oh, I want it for like 15 or something like that.
But after that, boys, we had the biggest twist since we found out that Rikishi was the one who ran over Steve Austin.
It did it for the Rock.
Mm-hmm.
He did it for The Rock. We had a Sony game on Nintendo, boys.
Again.
In fact, two at
Okay.
once, and there might even be another one coming. Who knows?
Yeah.
We had Patapon 1+2 Replay, which I believe is a remaster of the first two games,
Mm-hmm.
coming to Switch, being published by Bandai Namco, by the looks of
Yeah,
it.
and they're developing it, even though it's a remaster. But yeah, they're doing all the work.
Yeah. I think we talked about this game recently because it came to the PlayStation service thing, right?
Yeah, the third one came, but 1 and 2 do have remasters on PS4, so they are playable on PS5 backwards compatible. They got trophies, they're in the Surface, but then this remaster is done by Namco, and it's going to have like accessibility options, and you can adjust the timing of the rhythm and stuff like that. So even we can figure out how to play it, Craig, when we're not very good at rhythm-based stuff.
Definitely. Someone who is good at rhythm-based stuff, though, Dave. Did you like Patapon back in the day? And are you going to get...
So I did really like the first one back in the day on
Yeah.
PSP, and they're just better on handheld. So if it's relatively well priced and or a physical, then I will be very tempted to get it on either Steam or Switch, because they're perfect handheld headphone games, to be honest with you,
Mm-hmm.
and will look good on the Switch 1 OLED or whatever the Switch 2 ends up being. So no, it's cool. It's cool. I mean, it's the Bandai Namco showcase at this point, isn't it? But
Yeah.
I
Oh
think
yeah,
it's
there
cool.
was a lot of Bandai Namco,
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
obviously Pac-Man and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's coming 10th of July. You can wishlist it on Steam, but you
Yeah.
can't pre-order it on Steam. So I can't tell you. I can't tell you how much it is.
If that's also 25, then yeah, I'd probably be considering it.
Hmm.
I guess the next question is this the first cracks in the dam? Are we going to suddenly start seeing a lot of these
So it's
old PlayStation IPs that were very much targeted for handhelds, that were, I'm guessing, part of that Japan studio that no
Yeah.
longer exists?
well, that's what
group
it seems to be, because obviously
suddenly
we had
all
Freedom Wars, didn't
coming
we?
to the Switch, because it all
Yeah.
makes sense, doesn't it? If it does, you got there's stuff like, was it Loco Moco, whatever it was
Loco
called,
Roco.
that was in that Astrobot game, wasn't it? You could see something like that would work, right? Ape
Yeah.
Escape was Astrobot as well, wasn't it? Something
Yeah.
like I feel like there's probably a lot of these franchises that would make sense to PlayStation ain't doing anything with them, are they?
No, that's what they basically said after Freedom Wars, which is also Bandai Namco, that they're looking at licensing out IP and stuff like that. So if Namco, I guess, want to pay for the license and do the remaster and everything, I guess Sony's got everything to gain, nothing to sort of lose if Namco's taking all the risk.
You don't even need
People
a
aren't going to
PlayStation
get
anymore,
upset,
Craig.
are they?
You don't need a PlayStation.
Scream and...
PlayStation's third party now.
Yeah.
Xbox and PlayStation dead as a dodo.
Yeah.
There you go.
Just get PC.
Mm-hmm.
But what isn't
Get a
dead,
PC.
boys? The Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar.
Every year.
It's coming the 27th
Every
of
fucking
August.
year.
Every year for 50 years.
And it
Or
looked
however-
dreadful.
Well,
Is this the one with the wind? And they were getting blown around by the wind?
Yeah, I think
All
so.
these games merge into one for me.
The TikTok cozy gamer trend is wild, and this shit sells. So I think we can move on pretty quickly. But yeah, cool.
Yeah.
More of them.
Yeah, and there's amounts of them. And after that, we had Metroid Prime 4 again. Beyond.
Woo!
They had the trailer. They did show 2025 again with no date. Which is, I mean, it's good for me that they're still reiterating 2025 for my fantasy points. Like, it would have been nice if we had a date, right? Although, if we could get a date in 2 days' time,
I think we will.
that could be a thing,
I
right?
think we will.
Yeah.
And this is a very pretty trailer. Dave, did this get you excited for some Metroid?
Yeah, I think it was just more Metroid Prime. Because we talked about it on the forum a little bit, didn't we, Pengi? But it just seems like more Metroid Prime. But it's been 15 years, so at this point, I'm ready for it. It looked quite cool. I think graphically it looks good. It's laughable when you get to the Pokemon trailer later, and then you see that. But yeah, it's a day one pre-order for me. No matter which console I'm rocking, it's an exclusive IP that's worth playing.
Oh, you Pengi, is this one of the 10?
This is possibly one of the 10. It looks very good. I'm saying, I do agree with you. We saw this, and then they like ruined everything else in the direct. Like, this is on Switch, and then you look at like the next games. I'm like, how are these on the same console, and how does this look so rough compared to Metroid Prime 4?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, I do think it's going to be a cross-gen title. We will see it on Switch too.
Definitely.
But then how much? Yeah, it'd be interesting how Nintendo show it and going, this is how much better it looks on Switch 2 and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, and then what we didn't get a date for that, boys.
No.
But we did then get a shadow drop, and everyone likes one of them, right?
Yeah.
That was for Disney Villains Curse Cafe. Woo!
Yeah, Disney has
Pengi, you love
stolen
Disney.
Coffee Talk, apparently.
Yes, exactly what I thought. It did look very much like Coffee Talk. Pengi, you love Coffee Talk and Disney, so this is exactly for you, right?
Yeah, I haven't. I looked. It's 13 quid on Steam. I haven't actually bought it. Something. And weirdly, there's another game. I can't remember which showcase it is in. That looked exactly the same as Coffee Talk. Obviously, it wasn't a Disney thing. And it's like, people were doing the Coffee Talk genre now. It's the new genre thing. I'm making coffee-based games.
Yeah, it's a new thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, obviously, we've got Coffee Talk Tokyo still to come at some point as well.
To be honest with you, I was pretty content after playing one. I was like, I don't know if I need much more of that, but
You're right.
Yeah.
We're gonna get 300 more apparently.
Mm-hmm.
After that, we had Witchbrook. It's winter 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Stardew
I
Valley,
don't.
Hogwarts. Cool.
I can't remember anything other than there's a witch and you're flying on a broomstick, I think.
Yeah.
It's guaranteed points because it's the Stardew Valley team.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm. It's Chucklefish.
And it's been in development for about a decade or something ridiculous.
It's his follow-up to Stardew Valley. It's literally like Stardew Valley Hogwarts Legacy.
I guess
Not for
the
us,
only
but-
concern would be If it's been in development for 600 years and they're still just saying winter 2025, like, is that 2026? You know what I mean? Like, that's
Yes,
whatever
that's
you probably
only
what you.
January, February 2026. It's still
Yeah,
winter.
which then turns into the 2027, you know, and then we're
Mm.
in the spoon heaven situation. But yeah, it could be a good shout for some points on fantasy, couldn't it? At some point,
Yeah. Is that?
another one for winter 2025, though, boys. And this is one that I think we've seen this before somewhere, and it looked good before, and it looked really good here as well. But the Eternal Life of Goldman, which is a 2D adventure game, I guess. I don't know if it was a Metroidvania or what it was, but it always looks good. Always got really cool art style. So there's still no date. So I guess there's probably still no price either. It should be a big one for this sort of game, I think, for me. Pengi, were you impressed with the Eternal Life of Goldman?
Watching it back now, it looks better than what I remember. He's jumping like Ducktales on his walking stick, with the Peggy stick.
That's what Jeff and Mike were comparing it to a lot with DuckTales, which I obviously have no idea. I've never played that, but yeah.
You not played Ducktales? Oh.
Craig's lack of a childhood shows through again.
Yeah, I know, but they did the remaster, didn't they?
Also
But
a
yeah.
wonderful TV show.
Yes.
What about you, Dave? Were you captured by the Eternal Life of Goldman?
It looks fine, but there's how many thousands of these types of games? Like, not to be that guy. It looks cool, but it's one of those you see it in a sale for like a $5, and you go, "Oh, I remember that," and then you'll play it. But like,
there's a physical. It's £20 and 99p on the game on Argos. I don't know why Argos is coming.
That's good. This looks great. I watched this trailer again, boys. You two are too harsh. This looks fantastic.
Yeah, it's
there you go. You get a physical for £21, right?
If you're jumping on their head, they're chopping it off.
If you like those type of games, then I can completely understand it. But like, to me, it's like cool. I'll play. I'm playing
the animation. Yet, oh, it looks great.
I like THQ as well. That'd be the main reason I'd buy it.
Oh, it is THQ as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
look at the enemies. They look fantastic. The environments. Oh, it looks brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, you're not going to get Silk Song, so you might as well play that.
We are getting Silk Song. We're going to get it in 2 days' time. Dated. Most probably for 2027 or something stupid.
Yeah. And then, so we talked about DuckTales from Chris Pengeli's childhood.
Yeah.
One thing which Pengels always talked about in his childhood in the 1970s was Gladius. How much he loves Gladius or Gladius, however I meant to say that.
Gladius.
Gladius.
Not an L.
And the Salamander games. You always talk about the Salamander games, Pengi.
The Salamander games are great.
That's good because this is a collection with many of them and many different
and
regional versions of
Salamander. Yeah, all new.
And a brand new one.
Yep.
You could really get your teeth into this, Pengi.
No, eventually we'll pass though.
No?
Yeah. 17 versions of the 6 in total. There you go.
You could beat them all individually.
Yeah.
What a thrill that would be, right?
Yeah.
What about you, Dave? Did you play Gradius in the day?
I did, but I'm more of an R-Type guy. Give me an R-Type collection, I'll play that.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I played a lot of Zero Wing back in the day, the one that's got the meme or whatever for all our bases belong to us sort of thing. Yeah. But I actually I obviously just had it on Mega Drive regardless on that, so I played a lot of that. So yeah.
There's plenty of games. It's a cool collection if you like it, right?
Yeah.
But for something more modern, boys. And this is the first time I think this is coming to a console. So I think it's only been on the PC for the pedos. And that is Rift of the Necro Dancer, which came to Switch that day.
Yeah.
This came out early in the year. I think Dave had it on Fantasy. I think Penguins counterpicked it.
I got
points.
Yeah.
I've not actually seen what this is, but it looks kind of cool. It looks like Guitar Hero, but with like bosses and stuff.
Yeah.
Literally.
It looks pretty good, actually.
It's very fun. I played the demo on Steam.
Yeah.
And it's really good. Really,
I don't think it's too expensive.
And they've added a Celeste music pack, which you can see Madeline and Badeline in the in the trailer. More DLC, and it's got the Meat Boy and the pizza dude from the pizza game
Pizza
and
Tower.
stuff. DLC coming. Yeah, Pizza Tower. That's the one. Stuff like that. Yeah, I was hoping, obviously, it's now because it's on Switch, like Nintendo Life and that would review it, and it was going to run really badly on Switch, so it got bad to the points. Because remember, points don't get locked into the 31st. So I was thinking, Switch version 6 out of 10. Bring that, Matt.
I fear they might go the other way for you, Pengi. I think it might be.
Yeah, those Switch people
version,
were like,
10 out of 10.
yeah, they're like, it's a game on Switch. Let's give it a 10 out of 10.
Well, they did also make the Zelda.
Yeah,
spin-off,
Cadence of
so
Hyrule.
you know,
Yeah.
Probably popular.
Yeah.
Yeah, £16.75, boys, on the Switch. That's pretty good.
Well,
it's
on
worth it.
sale on Steam at the moment as well. I think it's like 12 quid or something on Steam.
Yeah, because it was in early access, I think, or something like that. Or they released it early on Steam and then whatever. But yeah, the studio makes good games. All of their games are good, to be honest with you. Always on Steam.
I counterpicked it because obviously, like, half the staff got sacked. So that's £15.7p on Steam at the moment, 10% off. You can buy it with Crypt with Next Dancer for £15.85. So for less than 80p, you can get 2 games extra. So, there you go. Yeah.
Well, that's one which, if it comes to, like PlayStation or Xbox, I could see me picking up, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're really cool.
You can buy it with Celeste for £26. It's got the music pack, so I don't know how much the Celeste DLC is. How much is the Celeste?
It looked like they were like £1.69 each, and it was
£1.52 per song or something.
Can't really argue with that, can you?
Or you can, So then there's 4 songs. So there you go.
Nice.
There you go. Yeah.
Game of the year. Saves up for a game of the year, then we go sorted.
Done.
Onto something which won't be game of the year. Tamagotchi Plaza. Which is on the 27th of June.
Kind of funny we're kicking off because they called it, I would call it Tamagotchi, you called it Tamagotchi, the announcer woman called it something completely different. I'm like, what? Can't remember what they called it.
They call it Tamagotchi because they didn't want it to be confused with Tomodachi later on. That's why they did it. But we don't have to dwell on Tamagotchi, Gregor. We can move straight on to the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looked dreadful.
Not for us, I suppose, is the diplomatic way to say.
No, let's call a spade a spade. It looked dreadful, Dave. Let's have opinions. Come on.
No.
It was Bandai Namco.
Let your hate
flow
through you, Dave.
That was the third Namco game.
But what wasn't Bandai Namco? It was Pokemon Legends ZA, which also still didn't get a date. Just late 2025.
Mm-hmm.
They showed it was in some city, which was in the game before, and there's a big news cycle was that during the day, it's like a normal Pokemon-y world, but at night, boys, the trainers come out, and you've got to battle them. And you start trainer rank Z, and you've got to work your way to A.
Mm-hmm.
Did that cycle do anything for you, David? Did it get you excited?
Yeah, I mean, I like Pokemon games. I was gonna buy it anyway, but yeah, I think it's a funny one because it's very different to Arceus from what we've seen so far. But I think there's enough intrigue with the whole it's set in the past, the X and Y games, for me personally to enjoy. Wish it didn't look as rough as it did, but equally, I'm happy to accept it because the gameplay is always better than anything else I play. So I'm happy for it, and we'll play it, Craigo.
What about you, Pengi? Are you accepting? Are you happy?
I think this is the best trailer we had of the game. I'm hoping that this isn't the whole ZA gimmick. Is just this Z to A battle thing. Hopefully, there's more to it in terms of story and stuff. Because Legends wasn't too bad for that Arceus for a Pokemon game.
Yeah, the problem that Legends Arceus had was that the real meat of the story was very post game.
Mm-hmm,
the big twists at the end of the game when you actually catch everything are wild, but you
Yeah.
have to play the game for about 90 hours to get that far. So I suspect that's probably why they put it more front and center with this one, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
You fight God, Pengi. There's no spoilers. You fight God.
Yeah.
God, am I right?
And God kicks your ass, Craig. I tell you right now.
Yeah.
God gave rock and roll
And
to you.
also, unlike Metroid, I don't think we're going to get a Switch 2 version of this. I think we're just going to get the game, and you just play it on your Switch 2 via backwards
They'll
compatible.
do what they
And they
did with Black
sell.
and White. There'll be a sticker on the box that says
Yeah.
also works on Switch 2. I
Yeah.
remember it very vividly on the DS, the 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
They could give you an extra like 2 frames on the new one, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that could be the thing. If it's got an unlocked frame rate or
it'll
something, it's the
absolutely
extra.
have an unlocked frame rate. There's no way they're optimizing it for anything.
Yeah, so then it could obviously the extra power of the Switch 2, but that's about the only hope I really have.
But then we had some more Nintendo, and this was strange. We had Ribbon Heaven Groove,
Hell yeah.
Mhm.
which started with a little circle jumping through a bigger circle.
Yeah.
Like it was explaining to us what it was.
Hmm.
And then showed some rhythm games. This is a sequel to some older Nintendo games, right?
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
And then they put 2026,
They did.
Yeah.
and you were like, "Oh, that's weird."
Is it
That's
weird,
very
though?
weird.
Or is it the fact that they're probably going to announce 6 months worth of games in 2 days' time?
It was. It was weird in the sense I was like, "Why did they just put that in the show in like 2 days' time?"
I figure it's because it's one of the few the very few just for Switch 1 releases, I think. 'Cause there's no need, you won't need more graphical power for Rhythm Heaven and the game we're going to talk about later. And equally, I don't think it's like, I don't think they want to make 2 boxes of it. I don't know. I feel like it was throwing a bit of a bone, but because you think Pokemon's also this year, Metroid's this year, like for a quote unquote dead console, I kind of get it. Now, don't get me wrong. If Rhythm Heaven is next Christmas, I'm wrong. But like, if it's going to be like January or February, I'm like, less than 12 months out. I don't think that's that weird. When we've got another direct in 2 days, again in 2 days' time, if they're like, oh, there's nothing coming, then I'll be like, okay, that is weird.
Yeah.
But it was fine. We don't need everything to come out all at once, do we? Am I being too hopeful?
Yeah, I don't know. It was just very strange to me for this is the Nintendo Switch direct, and it's 2026. Like, oh.
I guess I can see
There's
it.
a new console probably coming in a couple of months' time.
Yeah.
How odd. But the actual game itself, did you play the old games, David? Did you like the old games?
Oh yeah, they're great. Yeah, really, really good games. Some of the best Rhythm games on 3DS, and I think there was one on the original DS. I always get that and Elite Beat Agents confused, but they're really, really, really high quality, silly Rhythm games, and I will absolutely be buying this in 2026.
The one thing I thought looking at this, because I thought it looked really good. And we were just talking about Rift of the Necro Dancer, which was I say well priced at 16.75, I think it was. How much is this going to be though?
I would say 35-40. I don't think it'll be any higher than that. If you look to similar
Yeah.
games that Nintendo have sold, like, and you can
I would
past
compare it to WarioWare, which was cheaper, wasn't
it's
it?
29.
From
Wasn't
what I
it?
remember.
29.99 WarioWare.
Something like that. Yeah,
so
something like that.
Yeah, that's not
that kind of
too
thing.
bad.
I think in nowadays for a first party game, I think that's more than acceptable.
Yeah, it's not going to be like 50 quid, is
No,
it?
it's
Quite
not.
surely.
It won't sell
No.
if it's 50 plus,
No.
and they've only.
I don't know
What
what the
about you,
one on.
Pengi?
Yeah.
What's the one even called on Switch? Get it together. It's
There's 2 on Switch.
36. I 30. It was £36.15 apparently on Amazon, but it's on discount for 32.
Yeah.
So
There's that one,
I'm
and
guessing it's supposed to be 35.
Move It.
Move It,
Yeah.
which was that is £30 at very,
Yeah.
but it was 37.99 RRP. So let's say 40.
Yeah.
Yeah. The problem is also it's like 40 quid for this. Sounds expensive if you compare it to Rift and Nectar Dancer, but then 3D Mario is going to be 70 quid. So it's like it's a budget title compared to Mario, and it's first party. So first party, yeah, it's a bit of it's a weird one. Like you say now with game prices, what is expensive, not expensive, etc.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if Mario's 70 quid.
Mario would definitely be 70
It
quid.
might be 60.
No way, it'd be 70.
60. Was Zelda even 70? I don't think Zelda was 70.
Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom, 70 quid.
Tears
Remember?
Tears of the Kingdom
I thought
was,
it was
yeah.
60.
Yeah,
So,
70.
I'll be amazed if they make all their games 70.
Or $70. So it might have been 60,
Yeah,
but it'd be
it
70.
won't be the same price as The Last of Us Part 2,
No.
for example. Like, no way.
Yeah.
They're not stupid. They know they won't sell it.
Yeah, they sold how many Tears of the Kingdom at $70? So they definitely sell that in Mario. Yeah,
We will see.
I think this is just the world we're in. That triple A games for $70 and how. So.
Isn't $70. It's virtual game cards.
Oh yeah.
God.
This is coming in April as an update. I think they said a system update, late April. You can. So what you do, Dave? If I've got this right, is if I wanted to put, my metaphor disc in my PlayStation, right, Dave?
Right.
I would have to take out, say, the split fiction disc first, and then put the metaphor one in, right?
Yeah.
But what if I bought these games digitally? I would need to then take out my digital metaphor disc and insert my digital split fiction disc instead, right?
That's not what it is.
Yeah, I know. That's how they started explaining
they
it,
made
and then
really
it was all about the
confusing.
sharing.
And
Yeah.
So my understanding now, I've actually read the fucking stupid blog they put out, was so for just the scenario where it's just you, the only difference is that it's like so if you try to play anything on the modern console and you have no internet, it'll be like, no, we need to check that you own it. That seems to be the elimination of that problem. Like, that seems to be the one positive, that like,
Right.
because you've listed it as a game card, it's yours, so you shouldn't have to do a check for your right to own it. Like, it'll automatically be like, no, this is yours now. That's the positive I can understand. The sharing stuff's weird, that you can basically lend it out for 2 weeks, but you can't have it, but it's on a timer, so even if there's no internet, in 2 weeks' time it will be yours again. So that's a bit strange. I kind of can understand it for, like, in your own household.
Yeah, because you've got to transfer it through local, like,
Yeah.
I'm guessing Bluetooth, by the sound of it.
Yeah.
So, like, me and Pengi can link our switches and be zapping each other games from, Taunton to Wellington, for example.
And then obviously the big issue with that is that obviously if you give Pengi Mario Kart, you can't play Mario Kart for 2 weeks. Is my understanding of what they're doing. I don't know. It seems to be a very Nintendo way to get around a very modern problem.
I think they're bringing this in because you're going to have to switch to something like I obviously already sold my Switch 1. I don't know if you'll sell yours, Dave, or whatever, or you give yours to yours to Chloe, for instance. But I don't know, for some reason, you're only taking the Switch with you on the flight and not taking the Switch 2. Like, I can roam my profile and I can download Super Mario Bros. Wonder. I feel that's why they're doing it. There's going to be some people that have kept their Switch OLED or their Switch Lights or whatever, buy a Switch 2 and go back and forth between the two or something. And you're like, maybe like, oh, I don't want to take this 450 quid handheld on the go. I'll take the Switch Lite on the go, but I still want to play my Mario Bros. Wonder. I'll transfer my virtual game card over to my Lite or something. That's what I think they've done it. Weirdly, like backwards compatible in a weird digital way and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's very strange. It's a very Nintendo problem to something that probably wasn't a big problem anyway.
No, because if I still have my PS4, I'd just sign into my PlayStation Network account and download Elden Ring on that, for instance.
So I think we'll have to see when it's actually. It's obviously in April the update comes up, so I'm sure we'll see like a Game Explain or someone like that. Actually
and obviously
and tell us what it actually does.
Yeah, and that blog post obviously mentioned Switch 2, where it said you won't be able to load virtual game cart Switch 2 exclusive games, which doesn't just mean Switch 2 exclusives. It means there's a Doom Dark Ages on Switch 2, it isn't on Switch 1. Obviously, you can't load them on Switch 1. And it mentioned Switch 2 edition of games So I'm guessing Metroid Prime, for instance, is going to have a Switch 2 edition. You obviously can't load that onto a Switch
No, you'd
1
have to load the
either.
Switch 1 edition if you want
Yeah.
it, and then yeah. Which
Yeah,
again, we'll
yeah.
find
So
out more in 2 days' time, I suspect.
yeah,
But yeah,
because there's been rumors that No Man's Sky is getting a Switch 2 edition, and so's Dragon Ball Fighters or something getting a Switch 2 edition. Apparently that's a £10 upgrade, that one, from rumors, but No Man's Sky is free. But yeah, you won't be able to put the Switch 2 version on Switch 1, which obviously makes sense because it's a Switch 1. But yeah.
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 We had a load of games coming to the Switch.
Mm.
High on Life, which is brilliant. Star Overdrive, The Wandering Village, and I
King
think
of
that was
Me.
it.
King of
King of
Me.
Me, okay.
Lose Lagoon, I didn't even remember that one. And you had Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time, looks rough as anything on Switch.
Is that already out?
No,
I
it's
got told
21st
again.
of May.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm watching the
Yeah.
trailer now, and it's like, oh, this looks rough. I think the last time I saw it, they did a showcase and they showed it on PS5 or something when they announced it was coming to other consoles, and then you watch it back on there and like, ooh, oof. And it's like
It doesn't
55
look
quid.
great anyway, does it? Let's be
Yeah, and
honest.
it's like 55 quid, digital only in the West and
I'm
stuff.
sure
Yeah,
I
so
say it was pre-ordered for 35. Like
yeah,
last
yeah, but yeah, it's digital only now in the West. Yeah, you can still pre-order it on Argos for 35 quid, but it ain't coming to the West physical. So yeah, I don't really know why they
They're
split
just
it up.
taking your money, Davey.
Yeah,
We'll be taking mine.
but on
They're sending you
Steam,
a piece of paper saying, better luck next time, loser.
but on
Indeed.
Steam it's $49.99.
There we go.
Which
Bargain.
is yeah,
PC tax.
yeah.
After that, we had another JRPG remaster, Saga Frontier 2.
I don't
Yeah.
know how these
Pengi,
games
did-
keep getting made.
Yeah.
Pengi, did you play this back in 1963?
No, I didn't. I like Dev. I don't know how. Like Saga is like Square's worst series. I'm most familiar on the worst JRPG like series. There's even like a really good documentary YouTube video where like the person plays every single one of them. Like, yes, this series is bad. Yet somehow there's like 20 million of these games, and they're all getting remastered. So someone's playing them, but who that is, I have no idea.
That'd be the hardcore of hardcore JRPG stuff.
Yeah, but it's also Square where everything doesn't meet expectations. So I don't know who. Again, I don't know how they're selling enough to meet expectations of this game series.
After that, we saw Monument Valley 1 and 2, and I think they announced 3, which is a new game. I think
Yeah.
1 and 2 are already out, and they're coming to the Switch. And then 3 is the new one, which is coming this summer. I think I've heard of these games, but I've never actually seen them.
No.
They look like that Captain Toad, like your
Yeah,
puzzle
I
game
can
where
see
you-
that. I can see that a bit. Yeah.
I also felt like the third one could be points as well, because didn't the first
No, the
two
third
do well?
one's out. It's been out for ages on PC.
Oh, is it?
I took it last year, I think.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
So the little
I think
attention I
I-
pay sometimes.
Yeah.
Have you played any of them, Pengi?
No, they were mobile games.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck this shit then.
the iPhone version of Metacritic's got a 74 of one
Oh,
minute for it.
fuck
Yeah,
that.
that's the only. Yeah, it's only got iPhone. It might not be on PC. It might just be on iPhone at the moment. It's got a 74.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
That
So,
is vomit-inducing, that is, isn't it?
yeah, this is why I've never played them because they're like, yeah, they were like they're like the top mobile phone games. But yeah.
No, absolutely not. We're going to move on from that very quickly and move on to another Sony franchise coming to Nintendo.
Yeah.
Hashtag death of the PlayStation. Everybody's Golf Hot Shots, which I think is
Yeah.
the new one, right? This is the
Yes.
new
game.
Everybody's Golf that they're making.
Yeah. In
so
Japan,
this is-
it's Hot Shots. Everybody's golf.
It's the Resident Evil
So this-
Biohazard. That was the joke that was
Yeah.
made in the forum.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is Bandai Namco again, right? So this isn't
Mhm.
just them remastering old PlayStation
This is the fourth one.
games.
So.
This is them actually making one, I guess.
it's,
which is
Well, I
exciting.
don't know. I've seen some people, and I don't. Dave, you might have watched it. Mystic's video where he was talking PlayStation news. This might be based on the Vita one, World Tour?
It might be based on it, but it is a new game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a new game from
But they are,
from Clap Hands
but a
as
lot
well.
of the one, like you're saying, they're using like Freedom Wars was a Vita game, Patapon 1 and 2, obviously PSP. If this is somehow based on the Vita one,
Yeah, I think it's the same engine perhaps, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
As, I can't remember what the Vita one was called.
I'm sure it's World Tour, but
I
yeah.
think it was World Tour. But it's not the same game. It's not like the other.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not like an enhanced port. It's kind of like it's almost like a best of. They did it with
Yeah.
one of the Monkey Ball games, where it was basically like a best of, but not kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, wild. The sky is falling.
Everybody's
Pengi.
golf game's good.
So fun.
Yeah.
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 So
Okay.
fun. Yeah. You would fuck with it quite a lot, Krigo.
I do like a golf
You've
game.
not really been around for any of the launches of them because the PS4 one was ages ago and they got rid of the online recently, didn't they? But that was a really good game. But yeah, it's a good series.
Yeah, it isn't Clap Hands making it though,
Is it
which
not? That's strange.
no, not Clap Hands. Which
But
so,
yeah, it's one of those. If you want to play a golf game, it's definitely better than Mario Golf. Super Rush.
Yeah, that game wasn't great.
It was not.
and this is
was this another Japan studio game?
It is.
Yes. No, it's Clap Hands, but I think Studio Japan like publish it or something, Dave. But Clap Hands was the developer.
Yeah, I think so. The original ones.
It's something like that.
When are we getting Gravity Rush, Pengi? When is the sky truly falling? When are we getting Astro? Because we don't.
When does the dam break?
Right, we don't.
And the floods.
What's the point of having a PS5? Just put Astro on Switch. It'll sell better on Switch.
Yeah.
On a better console.
After that, we had.
I think that was the fourth Bandai Namco thing. Patapon, Everybody's Golf, Tamagotchi,
Pac-Man.
and what was the other thing that we missed?
Pac-Man, wasn't it?
But yeah, Pac-Man. That was the fourth Bandai thing.
Yeah. After that, we had Marvel Cosmic Invasion from. Is it .emu? I never know if I'm saying that right.
Yeah,
pretty much. We know what you mean.
Yeah. This looked fucking great, boys.
They've making so
This
many
looked
games, aren't
fantastic.
they? They're just like, hey, do you remember
Yes.
the 80s and the 90s? We're just gonna make them.
Yeah. Because these are the guys that made Shredder's Revenge, right?
Yeah, and they do a Power
Yeah.
Rangers
And did
one
they
as
do
well.
Streets? Did they do Streets of Rage 4?
yeah, I think so. I think it was them.
If they didn't,
Um,
Yeah,
Yeah. And I think they're
I
doing
think they're publishing this one. I
Ragebound.
think it's Tribute or something. I don't know. It all
Yeah, is
blurs.
it Ninja Gaiden Ragebound they're doing? I think so.
Yeah, I don't know who's doing Shinobi. Who's doing Shinobi?
that is definitely the Streets of Rage team
Yeah.
because that was in the trailer for it.
Yeah, they're doing Ninja Gaiden, definitely, looking at their Wikipedia. They're doing this. They did Shredder's Revenge, Streets of Rage 4.
Yeah, but Streets of Rage 4 team are doing Shinobi Art of
They
Vengeance.
could
So,
have two teams, a pixel art team and a not.
Yeah.
Team. That's
and
Yeah,
Lizard
they could
Cube, though, did Streets of Rage 4 .emu publishing. So,
Okay.
yeah. And then who's did the Golden Axe? I feel that is.
I don't think it's been.
We've not really
announced yet,
seen that,
to be
have we?
honest, no.
No.
Because that's a 3D small, isn't it? When they showed
Yeah.
a little bit of it.
Sega, something
But yeah,
like
I thought this looked great. There's some it looked like you were playing as two characters at once and then comboing between them.
that. Yeah, like the
and-
Marvel vs. Capcom shenanigan stuff. Where you can tag people.
Yeah. And they did show off that it has the 4-player online co-op, which Shredder's Revenge did. It did really well. Like you could just join random lobbies, host random lobbies, and people would just join, almost like Monster Hunter-esque, and you just play the game with them, and it was very flawless. Didn't really have to do anything, and very fun. I kind of feel like if this is priced right or on a subscription, like I think Shredder's Revenge was on Game Pass, then it could be a good time. Can't imagine it'd be particularly long because Shredder's Revenge is a couple of hours.
Yeah.
And was very good. So yeah, I thought this was a nice one to kind of not quite round off, but nearly round off with. What about you, Pengi?
Yeah, the only thing is it seems to be quite a lot of these at the moment. Like you got the Power Rangers one that came out recently, and
I always forget you're a
Shinobi's
Power
having-
Ranger stan. I always forget about that.
Power Rangers.
Yeah, so yeah, it's like they all sort of blur. It's like which one do I play of them all and stuff like that. Like you said, if this one came to a service and Craig's playing Cosmic Invasion, let's play that. But then if Power Rangers came to a service and it's like, Dave's playing that, let's play that one, sort of thing. So
Did you ever play Shredder's Revenge, though?
Not yet.
Oh, it's so good. You should.
Yeah.
So
At least
good.
go on the list, Dave.
Yeah, put it on the list.
The ever-growing list.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a great game. Great game. After that, and this was the last video game that was shown. There was another announcement after that. Was Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream, again coming in 2026.
Yeah.
This was fucking terrifying and looked dreadful, I thought.
It's not a game for us. It's a game for children and streamers.
Although I
Yeah.
did think it looked pretty dreadful.
Yeah. So, again, not
Yeah.
a game for us.
No. But we're allowed to have an opinion, Dave.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I said I'm not denying the opinion. I'm just saying it's
Yeah.
it's not a game for me. It ain't a get
Mm.
like I don't get it. I've watched people like streamers play it and it seems quite funny. But beyond
Mhm.
that, I don't know what you get from it.
No, it was like this Pengi. It looks like, was it Weetopia or Metopia they did?
Metopia.
Well, Metopia is actually a game. That's the difference. Was I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'cause
what,
that
what
has
is
the
this? What are
story.
you doing in this?
It's
What's
kind-
the...
Yeah.
It's like, I guess it's like The Sims,
That's the
but
closest thing I was gonna say I could think of. But like even then, like
Right.
it's just like it's all like weirdly AI'd and synthesized. It's just kind of like shit happens. And,
yeah, and like
yeah.
back in day on like the 3DS, I'm pretty sure you got more Miis and stuff through Street Pass, and then if someone made like a weird Mii, they would appear in like this. But now, obviously, on the Switch, you don't have Street Pass, so you're gonna have to like make a ton of Miis or somehow go to your friend's profile and see what Miis they've made, and sort of thing. Yeah, they basically just get all your Miis in the little town and they do stuff. Like,
There's not even like an online, like, shared world, like, oh, me and Dave's doing his
maybe now
breakdance
in
thing and I'm...
2026, but there wasn't.
That's what I got from it. I thought, oh, maybe I'm sat at the bench and Dave's breakdancing and Pengles is he's doing his
Yeah, see, I don't really think you
weights.
control the Mii.
It's like...
Like, I never played it on 3DS, but I don't think you control the Miis. I think you're more like, again, like
God.
Sims, like the point of God, yeah, and you're watching all your Miis and stuff.
Oh God, that sounds even worse than I thought it was.
Yeah, it's, like I said, it is like there is. I don't get it, but like as an anecdote, the school Chloe used to work in, one of the kids there was obsessed with the first one, like obsessed with it on 3DS. Like they love it. But it's just I think it's just one of those like it's not anything. If you're an adult playing it, I think you've got an issue, or you're a streamer. But I don't personally know why you would play it. If I was 5 years old, I get it because it's like making your mum and dad and doing fart noises and like stupidity. I get it, but like yeah, as a grown ass adult, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then to round it all off, we had Nintendo Today, which I think launched on that day.
It did.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it's an app which gives you Nintendo news, I think is the gist of it.
It does.
You pretty
I know
much. Yeah.
Pengu's been checking it every day.
Yeah.
As have I.
Yeah.
Anything interesting so far?
Yeah, on the very the second day it was out, they announced the date of the Zelda movie, which is going to be 2027. Is it 26th of March, I think?
It is.
2027?
And they did not announce it on X or Blue Sky or anything. So I'm assuming they've done this because they don't want to get involved in the shenanigans, and they might as well. I think they've rightly figured out that if you're a Nintendo fan, you will happily download an app to get your Nintendo news. But yeah, Miyamoto came out and did say that after the Switch 2 Direct, every day there will be a piece of Switch 2 news until launch, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Which they did for Smash Brothers Brawl Pengi back in the day on the Wii.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's good. It's a good calendar app, to be honest with you. Like it has like stuff when stuff's coming out and like when stuff came out. It's got like events. It's got like little quizzes and stuff. Like I've quite, to be honest with you, as silly as it sounds, I've actually quite enjoyed having it. I've used it, like I said, pretty much every day now since the thing, and I will be using it. Yeah, it looks like you can watch the directly on it as well.
Yeah.
Which is quite useful because obviously it's a phone app and it's going to have better sort of data streaming specifically for that one video than like a YouTube would, because it's just one video, right? And it's not 100 billion people. But yeah, it's a weird thing to put in a direct, Craigo, but it's a kind of like cool, harmless plus if you're a fan, I think.
It's wild that I didn't realize that Zelda thing was 2 years away.
Yeah, let us
Yeah.
It's
know.
crazy
They
they've
did
done
it.
a
They did it
date
with
for
Mario, didn't they?
2 years time. Wild.
It screams of end of
Crazy.
financial year 26-27, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's
But
fucking crazy.
can't wait for Jack Black to be in that as well.
Yeah, well, that was the
Yeah.
show, boys. That was
I was going to
everything.
say with the Nintendo Day thing, like the news after the Switch 2 Direct, I can see they show Mario Kart at the Switch 2 Direct or something, and then every day or whatever on the news is like, oh, Peach is a character, Funky Kong's a character
Well,
the
yeah,
next day, and
here's
so and
a
so. It's like, and that's how they announce like all the characters from Mario Kart.
yeah.
That
Well, you can
they
be
just
like,
put it on.
here's a 30
Yeah,
second video of the track.
yeah.
Here's what the cases are gonna look like. Here's whatever, right? I don't know. I think if you
Mm.
like Nintendo, like if they did one, say they did a PlayStation one, and they had
Mhm.
something to say, I think, and you're a PlayStation fan, I think that'd be cool. For me, it's harmless. There's no pay to win in it. There's no like,
No.
download a skin for an extra 50p. Like it's just a news app that you can kind of, it has a calendar. I've got the widget on my iPhone, which is cool. So it's basically my calendar now. But yeah, so to wrap up, Craig, 'cause I know we're already on 56 minutes every time. Let's go around the scores. Starting with Craig, what did you think out of 5 as usual?
God, it's hard to score in it. I thought it was alright. There was some cool stuff. For a show which was like less than a week before their big show, so it was going to be a weird one to kind of gauge what it was going to be, right? I'm trying to think what would be fair. I mean, I didn't feel like I'd wasted my time. I go for a 2.5.
Nice. Pengelly?
That's what I was gonna go for because it's a weird one. Like I went into it. We've had loads of showcases recently. Most of them's barely announced anything for Switch, and like the last Nintendo game just came out, like Xenoblade. And was like, okay. There's gonna be like nothing here. What are What's generally gonna be shown on a Switch One Direct? A week before Switch 2, this is going to be pretty bad. It's like, oh, we've actually got 2 new games from Nintendo, even though not really for us, and like your Dragon Quests and stuff like that. Oh yeah, I was better, pleasantly surprised from what it could have been.
Nice.
What about you, David?
Well, for me, I think it's a 3 for me. Obviously, I am the Nintendo fan. Not a single horror game. That makes me happy. That's already 1 point. You know what I mean? Because we need to stop putting horror games out. Which is
Horror games are the
bane
best.
of my existence, and all the other ones. No Souls games either, Craig. When's the last time you watched a showcase without a Souls game?
Yeah, it's true.
Great times.
That's what Nintendo needs, maybe.
Well, no, it doesn't. They'll get Elden Ring next week, and I'll cry sad tears that we have to talk about Elden Ring again.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially the.
You can buy it again, Davey.
Not a
Get it on
chance.
the Switch.
No, not doing
This is its time.
But for me, like, so if we're going through the games that I will buy this year, I will buy Metro Prime 4. I will probably buy Patapon. I'll definitely buy Everybody's Golf. Pokemon Legends Eddie, you know I'm going to get, right? That's 4 games off the top of my head.
Oh yeah, I forgot Everybody Go from Power Bomb.
Right.
See, that's 2. I'm pleasantly surprised. I will buy both of them.
Right,
So.
I quite like the look of the Rift of the Necrodancer. I don't even know if that's what it's called. Whatever. I quite like that one. Like, I've obviously using Nintendo today. I'm not too fussed on the game card stuff. I kind of get it. I think for my use case, it's not too bad, but we'll see. But yeah, it was kind of a clearing of the decks. I will buy Rhythm Heaven next year for sure. Love that game. Glad to bringing back another Dead series. It will be everything apart from F-Zero at this point, unless like.
Where's my kid Icarus?
Well, I think you. Well, Sakurai's working on the game. I think you'll see Kid Icarus next week, but we'll talk about that in a minute. We're going to do predictions. But I think it was fine. There wasn't enough in there. There wasn't like like a Mario Party or something that's going to blow someone's dick off. But like, I think Metro Prime looked really good, and I think Pokemon looks more promising than it did when we had the Pokemon Present. So that's fine. I would like to have seen a price drop on the Switch One. But I can also kind of get why they haven't. But it also does make me worry for next week, and we will the next 2 days time for how much this is going to cost us. But we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah, and also you forget next week what's also happened. They took our jobs, they took our wealth, so they got to put a tariff on the
I mean,
Switch too.
like I said, I'm visiting the US again fairly soon, but it's a crazy time. But let's get back onto Crago, because Crago is the hostess with the mostess this week, and we're going to talk our Switch 2 predictions and whatever. And Craig's got a little list of points he wants to go over with us. So Crago, without further ado, take it away.
I guess the first one is probably gonna be a bit of a non-event, but are we all just gonna assume that the leaks are right for the release date of, was it June they said? Has anyone got
Yeah,
any other like wild theories that it isn't going to be that soon?
I hope it's not, for personal reasons, but I think it. I mean, there's no smoke without fire at this point, right? It's the leak that everyone is backing up. So
Yeah, everyone seems to be repeating it, don't they?
Yeah.
So yeah, instead of us all predicting, the same thing there. Dave alluded to it a second ago. Price, boys. What are we thinking? And I want a number from all of us as well here, I think.
okay.
Pengi,
I'm
throw your
gonna
dart at the dartboard.
go for 429.99.
Ooh, wow, okay.
Mm.
It's not a number I've heard before, but yeah, it makes sense. Dave?
The head's saying 449, but the heart's saying 399. So we're gonna go 399.
Really?
How about you?
I see. I was thinking 450.
That seems to
that
be
makes
the
a lot of
highest I
sense.
think they can go.
Well, I see. I think that as well, but then my head keeps going back to, and I know this is kind of comparing apples to oranges here, but when they did the PS5 Pro and we all predicted the price, and I feel I went the highest, and I still wasn't high enough, and I'm
No.
like, I'm going the highest here, and am I still not going high enough? Do you know what I mean? Like, because let's be honest here, boys, this could be 550, and they'd sell a gazillion.
I don't know if they would.
No.
I don't think
Oh,
they
I
would.
don't know. I think the Switch is that much of a runaway success at this point.
Yeah, it's difficult because I think they're terrified of it being like the Wii U from the Wii. They're terrified of it because it's so much more difficult to justify to the average consumer to buy something that's basically the same but better at the moment, because nothing's selling that well. Like even the PS5 Pro, like that had a really good first month or so, and then it's just tailed off because people can't afford stuff, right? But I don't know. I would struggle to believe it would be that much more expensive than a Steam Deck.
Yeah, I feel 450 is kind of.
I think 450 would be fine. I think if you get to 499 and it doesn't have a game with it, then I think you're
Yeah,
getting
that's where
PlayStation levels of like arrogance. I don't think it does well at all.
Yeah,
I
that's
can see
where
there
my
being bundles where you
430s
get
come
the.
from, basically.
Yeah.
430 for the console, 70 quid for Mario Kart. Yeah, you're on your 500 then.
I really don't see Mario Kart being £70. I really
Or
don't.
59, it's $70 or whatever.
I think £60 because PlayStation games and Xbox games are £69.99 here, right? At RRP.
Yeah.
I just can't see it.
Yeah, they might go for
59.99.
59.99.
I think they'll sell, and people will be like, okay, it's Mario Kart's
Yeah,
gonna be the
Tears
best
of the
game
Kingdom
on the
might
whole
be
console, right?
59.99 here.
But I can't see £69.99 for any game. That'd be wild. The console would have to be like under £400 if they're doing that shit.
Yeah, Tears of the
100%
Kingdom is
of everything in there,
$59.99 on the eShops. It's $6.60.
Yeah.
But
What's
Breath
Mario
of the
Odyssey?
Wild.
£49.99.
Yeah, Odyssey's for so.
Yeah, it will be more because that's why they've stopped doing the voucher thing, right? So it will be more than it was, but I can't see it being $670. That'd be wild, absolutely wild if they did. It would be Trump's fault, I think, if it's going that high. What do you think, Craig?
Weirdly, I can't find Mario Odyssey, but Super Mario Bros. Wonder was $49.99. So yeah, Zelda was £10. Yeah, so I can see it. Yeah, 60 quid for Mario Kart, 430 for the console. Basically 500 quid for a game. Yeah,
Really. I don't see a world where they're like big launch games aren't at least £60. At least. Mm.
like I said, it's the one. I'll die on the hill, but like I cannot see a game like Mario Kart or like a 3D Mario game. I would pay 70 because it's worth it, but
Yeah.
I can see it. But we'll see.
Yeah, but again, I think that's why they're getting rid of the vouchers for, the
Yeah.
vouchers aren't compatible with Switch 2 or something. It's because the games are going to be going to be more expensive.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And like Nintendo, like always like the value sort of thing. It's like why stuff never goes down in price because they got this weird like this is
They make 100% of it, don't they? Because they have they make the cartridges, they make the shells, they make the games. Like their games, even compared to PlayStation, like say Xbox puts a game on disc, they have to pay a license for the Blu-ray, like all that stuff. Like Nintendo makes 100% of whatever they sell. So it's kind of like that's usually why I think they have been cheaper, not because of the quality of the game, because Mario Kart is better than Last of Us Part 2. But
no, that's wrong. But yeah,
it is. I've played 400 hours of Mario Kart. I can tell you it's better than Last of Us Part 2. But like, it's not. That's not why it's 70 quid. I think it's because of the cost of making the video game. Right? That's why they went up in the first place. So and it depends. We
well, I do think
GTA
they went up with
£100.
Tears of the Kingdom because they know people will pay that for Tears of the Kingdom, which they did.
Yeah.
It was 26 million Tears of the Kingdom sold. I looked or something like that. So yeah.
But they haven't had a game since, really, have they? That they could justify putting to that price. Because obviously the Pokemon games are pseudo that price because you've got to pay for the DLC now. Because that's the only other franchise I think that sells that. Animal Crossing would be an interesting one, maybe. But anyway, Craig, back to your questions, bud.
You can tell I was listening to some kind of funny before.
God, why have you done that?
Some of what they were talking about. Do they announce a new Pro controller thing?
Yes.
Yes, it's almost exactly the same as the old one. Because the old
the old ones are going to work on the new console.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, surely.
Yeah, I think the new.
It'd be criminal if they didn't, wouldn't it? Surely.
The new Pro controller is it's going to be black. It's going to have the red and orange underneath the sticks. Like the might even be the opposite around, but it'd be like the Switch itself, and they might put like Hall effect like sticks or something in, and maybe adaptive triggers like copying from like the DualSense, but that's about it. I think it's going to be It's going to be Xbox One to Xbox Series controller in terms of like upgrade. There's going to be a upgrade, like I have the C button, I guess, on it, for instance, but it's not going to be huge. It's not going to be DualShock 4 to DualSense, for instance.
And I with that again, without sounding like a fanboy, the changes needed aren't massive. It's a very very good controller. Like I've got my launch day controller that still holds battery for like 40-50 hours, like very comfortable to hold. Like I said, like Pengi said, I think the triggers being analog would probably be an improvement, and adding the C button I could see them doing. We don't even know what it does, but like I would imagine that would be something.
Yeah,
and that will be like 80 quid. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. That will be spenny.
Will it have HDR?
Yes. Oh.
Surely it's got to, right?
Yes, do you mean while you're playing it on the TV, or do you mean on portable?
Well, I was going to get to the OLED question as well, Pengi.
No, it's not going to be OLED.
You don't think it's going to be OLED?
No.
Not a chance.
Not a chance. They need to keep that cost down.
So then, do you think it's HDR both, Pengi, or
no, only on the telly?
And I agree.
That'd be a shame, wouldn't it?
Which is what the standard Steam Deck does. You can put HDR on when you're connected to a HDR device, because obviously the screen is not. HDR is pretty standard now, right? So I'd be surprised.
That's the same as one of my pickups. It hasn't got a HDR on the screen. It's got HDR if you plug it into like a display that's.
Which is the same as a PS5. If you plug a PS5 into a non-HDR screen, it doesn't have HDR. If you plug it into a HDR screen, it does. Right?
Yeah, but it's just the screen isn't going to have it on the Switch 2. Yeah, I think it's going to be a bigger screen. I think it's going to be like 8 inches or something.
Yeah, they've said it is, haven't they? The dimensions.
Yeah. I can't remember how big they said it was or something, but yeah, definitely bigger than that.
The last one. Do you think there'd be more than one SKU? A normal SKU and an OLED SKU or anything like that?
Right, define SKU.
Well, like different colours. Obviously, that isn't a different SKU. But
Because I think they might do a limited edition Mario Kart bundle.
I don't. Not for a
I
launch
don't
game.
think they'll do here's the 128 gig version and here's the 320 gig version. I don't think they'll do here's the LED and here's the OLED. But I think they will do a special edition Mario Kart bundle, which will be like £500 or something. But because you're getting fancy coloured Joy-Con 2s and stuff like that. I think that's so there will be two you can buy day one, but I don't think there'll actually be any difference in terms of what the two things does. You know, like remember there's the grey one and the blue and red one for the Switch.
Yeah, I think it'll be that. I don't think you're going to get a special edition Mario Kart console. You might get a controller. If I'm thinking about what Zelda was like at launch, Zelda just had the big collector's edition game.
Yeah.
I don't think it had anything else. I think it
Nah.
confuses it a little bit. But I think you'll get
Yeah.
different colour Joy-Cons. There'll be a light blue and orange SKU, right? But yeah, definitely not different memory.
Yeah. I
It costs
definitely
too
think
much to
there's
do it.
going to be two bundles of it.
Yeah. I can't. The Switch one, I don't think had any bundles, right? It was just the two different.
No, it's just two different colours, but there was two different.
Whereas the
two
Wii
SKUs,
had
like, yeah.
Zombie U
Yeah.
as a bundle.
Yeah, but that actually did have the different memory and stuff. So yeah.
And then did we want to do some out there round predictions?
Go on then. Do like 3 or 5.
Go on,
each.
Pengi. That might be a push here for me.
Yeah, do 3.
So
fine.
try.
I'm gonna go for the C button. Is gonna be like the community button. This is my prediction for the C button. Is community button. It's gonna have you press it. It's gonna have the Nintendo Day on there. So I have the calendar, show you news, etc. And also it's sort of gonna semi bring back the Miiverse. So I press the community button. I get all that, and it goes. Craig's playing Mario Kart 8, and he set a time on Moo Moo Meadows and stuff like that. Dave has just finished a dungeon in Zelda sort of thing, and show screenshots and things like that. That's my prediction for the C button.
Nice.
Dave.
An out there prediction. Oh, what do I think is going to happen? It isn't a game because I'll save games for a bit later. I think it will have 1440p and 4K output on the TV, but not native games. They'll be upscaled.
I don't know what that means, but cool.
So
Yeah.
it'll have like DLSS. It won't have like games won't run.
You're
at
just
4K.
saying letters. I don't know what any of this means.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, games won't actually be 4K. They're like 720p, but made to look
powered
1080p
up, exactly.
because of DLSS.
Because of technology.
Yeah.
There be peas, and we all like peas,
We do.
especially mushy peas, right?
No, they're not peas, not beans. They're what was it? I can't remember what they were called.
God knows. Move on, Craigo. Save us all.
Yeah.
Right. The little Joy-Con things are mouses right now. Mice.
Yeah.
Nice,
You say mice. Mouses. Do you say mice? So there's got to be something. They're going to launch of something to promote that, right?
Yes.
Mario Paint. They could use that, right?
Mario
Mhm.
Maker
Maybe a Mario
3.
Paint.
That's what it'll be.
Yeah, that's the other one I was thinking, but I feel like that could be like, maybe that's like a year 2 or something. But yeah, Mario Paint.
To interrupt the chaos with my fucking Money in the Bank here. I don't think there's going to be a 3D Mario game this year. I don't know why you do Mario
Wild.
Kart and Mario like this early. I think it's going to be.
Yeah,
Do it
but
so
they
I
did
can get
that-
loads of points in fantasy.
They did it with
That's what you do.
the Switch. Remember, the Switch had
I had a Mario Kart remaster.
yeah,
and a new Mario game.
but you also had Breath of the Wild in the first year, and Splatoon 2 in the first year, and
Yeah.
Fire Emblem Three
But
Houses in the
how
first
many
year.
brand new Mario games was there?
Odyssey,
brand new. Yeah, right. So I don't.
yeah.
If they were to do the Mario Galaxy 1+2, but I think if they're going to do a second one, it's going to be something like a Mario Maker to justify the mouse, because the mouse isn't going to work in handheld. It'll be the touchscreen. That'll be what you do with it, right? So
Mhm.
Yeah, I would be very surprised. I think you might see a trailer for it, but I can't be amazed if it's this year. You got Pokemon at the end of the year. You got Metroid coming after launch. Like, are they really going to do
Yeah.
another
The thing
Mario
is,
game
they
as well as
want
Convince
Mario
people to
Kart?
big
upgrade though,
holiday game.
maybe.
The big holiday game.
Convince people to,
Yeah, but
buy this big new
how
console.
long did they keep Fire Emblem Engage in the shadows for completely
Oh,
finished, Pengi? Like 3 years?
yeah.
Because they were like,
Yeah.
well, wait, we can do whatever we want. We're Nintendo.
Yeah.
I'd love to be wrong. Actually, I wouldn't because I don't want you to get any points. But
Anyway, for the mouse, Craig, we're getting a new 1-2 Switch sort of
No
thing
way.
from the mouse. We're getting a mini game
Just do one of them.
compilation. We're getting like a mini game compilation that uses the mouse.
Unless it's WarioWare, I completely disagree.
Yeah.
There's no way they're bringing back that. They brought
Well,
the
I don't
second
know
one
if it's
out
gonna
and
be
didn't
that,
even,
like-
didn't even advertise it.
But that's what they've done. Like, so on the Switch, we had 1-2 Switch. On the Wii U, we had Nintendo Land. And then on the Wii, we had obviously Wii Sports. And they've all used the controller. So we're going to have like a weird mini game compilation. That's what's going to use the controller.
Still Diver 3.
No, that's not that. No. That's what we're getting. Some
I
weird
get-
mini.
Yeah, I get the reasoning, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Unless
It's
it's a new
Nintendo.
thing.
That's like the most predictable thing for Nintendo. There's going to be some weird compilation game
Imagine if it
that
is
uses
actually
mouse.
Mario Paint. Then that'd be wild. Like, surely no
Mhm.
one needs that in 2025. Just to download Microsoft Paint. It's still good.
Yeah.
Clippy for Smash. Anyway, moving
Yeah.
on.
I think there'll be a sports game, boys.
Well, like a Mario one. I mean, it's time for baseball, right? That's the next one that's in.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
Yeah.
Baseball, Mario baseball. You hit balls
Well,
with a bat.
they are sponsoring the Seattle Marlins this year with
Exactly.
Switch 2s. Yeah, it makes sense.
Baseball starts again soon, don't it?
And
It's already started. Does it ever end? Baseball ever end? Isn't there like
couple-
6 million games a
A
year?
couple of months. It's another one of the Sony games that you can play on Nintendo. Great game.
Yeah.
That'll be the show.
That is an actual Sony published one as
There
well.
it is,
That
yeah.
one.
PlayStation is
Yeah.
dead, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Dave, prediction. Have you even gone?
What do I want to predict? I predict that Chris Pengelly will pre-order one. That's my prediction.
Yeah, that's not a prediction. That's facts. That's
Yeah.
facts.
No,
on
you
God
need to
right
deal
there.
with Paul Heyman. It's not a prediction. It's a spoiler.
It's a spoiler alert. Chris Pengelly will have
Yeah.
one in his hands day one, and he'll be like, "Oh, so mid," and he'll play like 60 hours of Fire Emblem, and he'll be like, "Oh, it's my game of the year." And then they'll be like, "Oh, we have put a Zelda the Wind Waker on the console," and you're like, "It's my that's technically a new game because it's not been bundled before, so that's my game of the year as well."
That wouldn't be a new game. That would just be a remaster.
What,
That'd be remaster of the year.
Wind Waker 4,
Mhm.
following on from Spirit Tracks. Telling me you would
Yeah.
buy it.
I would buy that. Yeah.
Okay.
I got to have another prediction. That isn't really a game. I'm trying to think. I don't think what else they could do. They add GameCube games to NSO, and you can only play them on Switch too.
How much are they going to put the subscription up if they do?
Their subscription's really cheap anyway, so I don't know,
£35
£5.
a year at the moment.
Yeah, so £5. Yeah,
Like
not a lot at all. I don't expect.
reckon not $49.99.
Yeah, something like that.
You give what GameCube, N64, Mega Drive, NES, SNES, Game Boy
Yeah.
Advance, Game Boy. It's a pretty fucking good deal, isn't it? To be fair.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. We're getting GameCube, and everyone's happy.
I think. I still think that they'll rather remaster and remake their games. Than
Yeah,
that.
the only
But
problem is,
It would
yeah,
be insane if they put If they say there was 5 GameCube games at launch, like people like yourself. I mean,
Yeah.
you play it, wouldn't you? If I said to you, you can play Wind Waker, Double Dash, think of another GameCube game, Pikmin 1. Like if you play like that list of games, but you can play them handheld. But again, Pikmin 1's got a remaster.
Yeah, that's the
Wind Waker's
problem. A
had
lot has been
remaster.
remastered, so
Yeah.
I can see it being like Star Fox Adventures, which they're never
Oh,
going to remaster.
I play Star Fox Assault. That's another Bandai Namco.
Yeah,
You can't escape them.
Bandai can't.
They're
No,
actually
okay.
they're actually the biggest publisher. No one knew.
Yeah.
What about you, Craig? What do you
My
predict?
my last ever prediction I'm doing here. Spoon Heaven won't be there. It doesn't exist. It's all bullshit.
What won't be there?
You mean
Spoon Heaven.
Silksong?
Oh,
Yeah,
Silksong.
Silksong.
Definitely not. It's vaporware.
Yeah.
What will be there is Elden Ring. There you go. There's a free one for you.
Yeah.
Again, another Bandai Namco
any-
published game.
Yeah. Anyone else have any more before we round that up?
No.
No,
I think,
not
I
really.
think it's a bit of, bit of a weird one because it's both the most. It's always hype for a new game console, right? But it's been so long coming, and they announced that it was happening so long ago that it's like got a very weird vibe. Like I don't know what they could announce that would surprise anyone at this point, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because this is the thing. I think everyone expecting a 3D Mario.
Yeah, everyone's
So
expecting.
we just don't know
something.
what it looks like, but it's like, oh, it's 3D Mario. We knew that was going to be there.
But even if they didn't do that and we're like, oh, here's a brand new Zelda, people are like, oh, cool. They wouldn't be that surprised. You know what I mean? Like, oh, cool, Fire Emblem, cool. Yeah, we like Fire Emblem. I think the only surprise would be F-Zero and Craig losing his shit and being forced to buy one because he loves it.
Yeah. I guess that's one thing. Do they tease anything really far out like a Zelda?
Yeah.
Because obviously the Zelda they showed like the Wii U launch and it came out like 5 years later
I think
on a
that'd be
different
Mario.
console.
I honestly think that would be the 3D Mario. I think that would be the 2026 like big game.
Yeah.
I think they'd be like, hey.
The only other big game I think you could tease that in Zelda is Animal Crossing.
Yeah, it'll be
Like you have Isabelle doing her
which they did last time, right?
I can't
Wasn't
remember.
Tom Nook just like sat there and he was like, we're making a game, but you can't see it yet.
Yeah.
Will we get any new IP? There we go. That's a question.
Yeah, maybe my weird mouse compilation game's a new one.
Yeah, Legs.
Yeah.
The spin-off sequel to Arms.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I don't think so. But then I said Arms was the one that we got last time, and that was a gimmick game based on the gimmick, as Pengi said. So I think a mouse game could be cool. It's just difficult because obviously you're going to play it in handheld, so that would be a touchscreen game because you can't take the mouse off.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. It's a great unknown, Craigo. Something like that.
Yeah.
That's it, isn't it? That's our Nintendo predictions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 2 days we'll find out how wrong or
Yeah.
right we were. So.
Oh, I have got one other prediction
Go on
actually
then,
from a
Pengi.
third party thing. We see Kingdom Hearts 4. Imagine it.
I think
Imagine
they just apologise for making all of the cloud games, and they'll all be real games again.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, maybe. You'd be surprised. Again, like Sora's in Smash, right?
We got to see Kingdom Hearts 4 at some point. Why not here?
I think you will see Kid Icarus. Speaking of Sakurai, but nice. Well, let's round out the show with what we always round out the show with, what we've been buying and playing. I feel like Chris has got the most, so we'll end on Chris. Craigo, what have you bought and played?
Go. I'll run for a wee whilst Chris goes.
Okay then.
So-
Chris, on you go.
Okay, so me on PC. Let's start there. Actually, no, let's go PlayStation. So, without Craig, his Astrobot DLC went back and did the Astrobot DLC, so that's all done. Now got 100% of the trophies again, all the bots, all the props, etc. And I believe every bot that's in the credits is now in the game. So I don't know if we're going to get any more DLC or whatever. They've not really like mentioned it or talked about it, so but the game's still obviously great. So that's a good one. With Craig, me and him did finish Split Fiction. Very good game. Much probably my game of the year at the moment. I don't know if I know Craig, I think, has played some more Avowed, so I don't know about. But yeah, but really good game. And I think we're only missing 3 trophies now from the Platinum. And the Platinum, when I last looked, was quite rare. And I can kind of see why, because, like, you know, normally, like, only one of you can get the trophy but we both bought it. But then obviously, if you're playing with like a non-gamer friend or something, we're like, oh yeah, no, we're worrying about getting the Portal Easter egg trophy sort of thing. But yeah, really good game. People should check that out. And then on PC, quite a lot, Davey.
Nice.
Quite a lot. So I downloaded the Half-Life 2 RTX demo. I think I've got footage up on my channel. It's got 2 chapters you can play, and I don't know if you can actually play all the chapter or just a slice of the chapters. Did load both up and stuff like that. It looks pretty. Obviously, like I have got a 4060 that has RTX options and stuff, so it like ran. But I was like, I don't know where I'm meant to be doing or what I'm meant to be doing because like I've never played Half-Life 2, so this chapter 7 or whatever it was, I was like, this has no reference for me whatsoever. I'm just running around in like I think it's like a prison or something. But it looked pretty enough if like the full game was on half RTX or something, like maybe it would get me to check out Half-Life 2, knowing I can start from the very start and to the finish with the RTX on look all pretty. So there's that. Then I got sent a code, a bit of a weird code, because obviously Fragpunk is free to play, but I was sent like the Founders Pack code, which obviously people can buy. So I did do a video up on my channel on Fragpunk, which I think has got fairly decent concurrent numbers on Steam, and it's only on Steam. It should have come to console, and it's cancelled the day like it was supposed to come out. It was literally cancelled on console, like I think indefinitely or something. Like I don't really know what's happened. There, it's a bit like Valorant, Dave. So you got like the 5 rounds or whatever, and you got one of you's got to attack with the bomb and plant the bomb, and then one of you defends the bomb and tries to stop the other team and stuff. Thing like that, but it's got like this card system.
Nice.
I was gonna say it's just the one with the cards, with the big
Yes,
heads.
this is one of the cards. So it's like, oh, we're starting a round, and it's like the big head mode, and everyone's got big heads and stuff like that. So it's obviously easy to like obviously shoot them. And then if you do have a draw at the end, it isn't a draw. You have a 1v1 duels,
I know what you shoot
and you
out.
have and you have to select the order who of like a vote as well, like who's going in which round and stuff. But your health carries over as well. So if you went first, Craig versus Dave, and Craig, you beat Dave, but you only had half health, and then I'm the next one on Dave's team. But obviously, I got full health. You only got half health. Obviously, that gives me you in like an advantage and stuff like that. So it had some cool mechanics in that. I played like 3 or 4 games and stuff like that. It was fun enough. It's like I said, it's free to play. It's only on PC at the moment. I just checked it out because I had the Pioneers code that it's given me. It was like gold skins for like an AK-47 and that. Then I also,
Nearly 22,000 people playing on Steam right now. It's not
yeah,
bad.
it's been pretty popular.
It's a lot better than I thought that'd be doing. Honestly,
And I
it
don't know why the
peaked at
console version still cancelled.
113,000.
Also on PC, I tried Arcadegeddon, which went free as well. Which is like a weird roguelike game from Ilphonic, who did the Predator and the Ghostbusters game and stuff like that. It's got crossplay. It's now free to play. So went in it, played like the training mode, did all that. I was like, oh, this is fun enough. But with 4 people, it's meant to be more fun. Could I find a team of people to play? I could not find a team of people to play, which is a little disappointing now that, like I said, it's on everything, crossplay and free to play. Because I could go load up Ghostbusters right now, and I bet I find a game on Ghostbusters, but which you have to pay. Yeah, so that's a little bit of that. And then the only other one on a PC itself, or actually a gaming laptop, was Assassin's Creed Shadows, which I'm playing through the Ubisoft Connect launcher. I know there's other launchers apart from Steam, people. I'm playing that where I've paid for a month of Ubisoft Plus, So you can play Assassin's Creed Shadows day 1. I'm playing it in canon mode, so it flicks between the stories. So it started with Yasuke. He did like a story of him. It sets up like what's happening. Then it changed to Narway. I've been mainly playing as her at the moment. So far, so good of what I've played of it. I think I must have played about an hour, hour and a half on the actual the laptop where I'm playing it like high settings, 60 frames a second. It looks pretty, it looks pretty good and stuff like that. But it's not the only thing I played it on though, because I also one of my pickups was a ROG Ally, the Z1 Extreme, which is like the second one sort of. They did a Z1 a few years ago, and then they did, but it's not the new fancy one. It's not the Ally. X, which is one of my pickups. So I actually had it twice. My one that came and didn't work, and so I had to send it back, and I bought one from Argos. So I downloaded Ubisoft Connect onto the ROG Ally. Obviously, downloaded Assassin's Creed Shadows on that, and I have played some on the ROG Ally. Very impressed with it. Okay, it's 30 frames a second now. It's low to medium, different like settings and stuff like that. But when you do the classic Assassin's Creed, you climb up on the tower and you got the bird's eye eagle view, and the panoramic goes around and stuff like that. It actually looks really good, and because the screen's like 7 inches and stuff, you can't really. It's like you can't really tell it's like that much worse than like 30 frames and sort of thing. And there's all like the PlayStation Pro stuff come out recently. Like, there's actually a stutter on the PS5 Pro yet, like in the 120 frame mode, and like every 8 seconds or something. But like bigger the TV, the more pronounced it is, which I guess makes sense. It's bigger, you can actually see, see it better. So yeah, play some of that on the ROG Ally, which is one of my pickup. And then everything else I've also played on the ROG Ally. So PC, sort of, but yeah, in a handheld form. One of them is Monster Hunter Stories HD, which I picked up in the spring sale on Steam. I think I picked it up on Steam. It was £12, I believe. Wherever I did get it, I played a little bit of not a huge lot. It's like the opening where it starts out and you get your first monster as you like a partner with them, and it plays a bit like Pokemon sort of thing. Obviously, this being a 3DS game that had like a HD remaster, is like 60 frames a second, high settings, looking the best it sort of can, even like on the ROG Ally. So I played a little bit of that, and that is also a digital pickup, Craig, because I know you love to count them. Then I also this I was going to play on PlayStation Plus, and it just made me think of another game I've actually played, because it leads Plus on the 15th. It's Tales of Kinsara Sao, but I saw it was in this month's Humble Bundle Choice thing, which is like their monthly sort of like Game Pass, but you actually own the game because you sent a code for Steam. But in this case, it was the EA Origins launcher, another launcher on PC. People sent a code for that. It's like, well, I can pay £6 for a month of Humble Bundle, and I actually get to keep this game for ever. And there's 7 other games in that like Choices thing. So I went and got that subscription for a month and downloaded this again on the ROG Ally. Yeah, this looks really good in it. Like, being a 2D Metroidvania sort of game, it's a sort of game that works really well on a handheld device. So yeah, so what I've played of that, pretty good. I think I've done Act 1 of the game. I think you played this, didn't you, Craig? Tales of Kinsara Sao?
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, what I've played so far, I like, and like, it's 60 frames. I think it's medium settings on the ROG Ally. It looks good. But then one of Dave's favourites, again in the Steam sale, it was £2. I want to say like 59 or something like that. Weird price. It was Grapple Dogs, which I got. Again, played on the ROG Ally. Another that works really well, being a 2D platformer game, very Game Boy Advance era sort of thing. I've done the whole of World 1. Yeah, really good. Really enjoyed playing that on the ROG Ally. So there's that. What isn't been so good was another digital pickup on the good old Steam was Wonder Stop. Like Assassin's Creed looks pretty good, frame rate's pretty good, definitely playable on the ROG Ally. Like Wonder Stop looks pretty rough. And like you doing the
That
frame
game just
rate.
looks rough though in general, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It looks
that's what I'm
really
thinking. I'm thinking like is
doesn't look
the
like
art.
a good, well optimized video game.
Yeah, it's like the frame rate counter is in the corner. It's like, well, I'm getting 60 frames a second here and stuff like that. And it's like we got DLS on. Like I've done everything to us. Like, yeah, this looks quite rough. I haven't tried it on the laptop, but I think it's just the art style that they've gone for. And like everything's like this flat bluey purple color and stuff like that. It's like, yeah. I think the game itself, what I was going around chopping up trees and making tea and everything, kind of works as a cozy game on the handheld. But yeah, I just didn't think. I think this is the worst of game that I've played on the ROG Ally. And then you got like Assassin's Creed, that's very impressive. I have
I love
pre.
the idea of you having your like Counter Strike frame rate thing in the corner whilst playing Wonder Stop Pengi.
Yeah. But I
I
wanted
just
to like make.
it's just mental.
No, no, but I just didn't want like I load up and it's
Gosh.
running at 9 frames a second. Like, okay, what have I got to do here to make it run at like 60? Right, I've got it running at 60. Okay, we're all good. Sort of thing. Plus
Is the game
the
actually good? Because the like
I
one
enjoyed
review I
like
watched of it looked pretty bad.
yeah, be running around like I said, making my tea and stuff like that, and helping I think it's called Boo or something like that out things. So it's definitely like interesting cozy game. It's got the story there, sort of thing. But yeah, like I said, if you compare it to like Assassin's Creed, I'm like, ooh. And I've pre-installed South of Midnight on the ROG Ally, so it'd be interesting how that runs. Sort of thing. I'd say that I did play a little bit of Lonely Mountains. With the Game Pass apps. Again, Game Pass. So, like, on this ROG Ally, I've got Steam, I've got Epic, I've got Ubisoft, and I got Xbox. I got 4 different launchers. They all just work. The game's just installed. You can just play them and stuff like that. It's yeah. So yeah, it kind of works as well. How like the Steam Deck, you press the Armory Crate button on the ROG Ally. There's all the games you got installed. So even if it's Assassin's Creed on Ubisoft and Lonely Mountains on Xbox, there you go. Click on Assassin's Creed, it just asks you to sign into Ubisoft Connect account, and there you are. You're just playing it. But jobs are good, and so yeah. See, and that's it. That's basically all I've played. I did remember I've played Deliverance Mars. I'm about halfway through on it, which is leaving Plus on the 15th. Story wise, pretty good. It's a sequel to Deliver Us the Moon, and like the gameplay is kind of basic. It's got like puzzles, a little bit of walking, but the character models, they look like Life is Strange 1 from like 360, very plastically, like made of plastic thing. Yeah, the character models are not good in it thing, in which you can obviously thing. But that's if it's on Plus, it's leaving Plus. I thought I'd give it a go, sort of thing. I think Craig would like it, sort of thing. And I think you played the first one and quite enjoyed that, from what I remember.
Yeah, I quite like the first one.
Yeah, and I think it's only like
completion of
6-7 hours or something. So yeah, it might be worth playing. I did have one other pickup. It's Patapon 2 on PSP.
Nice.
Well
Because
timed.
you never have enough. Yeah. You can never have enough Patapon. You never have enough Patapon. That is it. Unless you've got any ROG Ally questions or anything, I guess.
No, I think we'll wait until you've had it a bit longer, then we can do it like
Mhm.
my first month with the ROG Ally.
Yep.
Nice. Craigo, what about you?
In terms of playing, I think obviously me and Pengi played some Split Fiction, which I imagine he talked about. It's very good.
Mm.
We dropped here, Dave.
Yep.
It's great, fantastic.
Is
We
it your
got
game
three.
of the year so far?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Although I've only beaten that and Monster Hunter. That's the only two games I've beaten. So yeah,
Yeah.
it probably is up the two. Yeah, it's really good. I really liked it. We've got a couple of trophies to get on me, basically.
Yeah, we
Seriously.
got to do that soon. Then we
And
can
then
get it sold.
yeah, and then get it gone.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then we need to do It Takes Two again, then Davey. Get that done. Get
Yes.
through that. Um, and other things I've been playing. I played a little bit of more Metaphor in bed whilst I was dying. I've done another two of the side dungeons. I think that's all the bounties done now, essentially. Um, so I've got about 17 days, I want to say, before I've got to fight the big bad. Just trying to get all my like supporters up to the top level bonds. Trying to get the archetypes as high as I can. Trying to level up as much as I can, and then yeah, start fighting this big bad at some point. Um, and then I think the only other thing I've played is more about. I think I've nearly done. Well, I think I've done story-wise the second area now. 'Cause I can go to the next one, and I've got a few more side quests to do. Um, in that area, which I'm gonna knock out, and then I'll go to the third area. I think there's 4 areas in the game, so I'm probably about halfway through, I think. But I'm very much enjoying that. I'm still playing with the sword and shield setup that I've got going on at the moment. Sword and axe at the moment. So a sword and sorry, a shield and a frost axe I've got at the moment. Quite enjoying running around with that. Although I want to try the pistols when I get a couple of the pistols, and try dual wielding the pistols and see what that's like. Because you can just respec at any time, so I might just have a little go of that, see if I like that as much as I do the setup I've got at the moment. If not, I can just swap back nice and easy. But I think that's all I've been playing really. To be honest with you, Davey. So I've not played much. I've been dying for the last nearly week, so
But you
I'm in bed.
survived, Craigo, and that's what really matters.
Exactly. Yeah,
Mhm.
I've survived.
Nice. Well, another pretty quick one for me. Only pickup was House of the 2+3 on the Wii for about £2 because me and Chloe had a Wii night. So those light gun games are great on the Wii. For a brief moment in time, they came back and they were fun. So it's just the arcades really you can play that. But
Did you play bowling?
oh yeah, played some Wii bowling. Yeah, played a bit of what else
The
have I
only
got
game
on
I've played
there?
on the Wii.
Excite Track. It's cool. Like if you like the arcade like House of the Dead Time Crisis-y stuff, like that stuff works great on the Wii because you just point and press the button, don't you? It's easy enough. But yeah, we got a HD converter thing downstairs on the Wii, so it's still pretty fun time and very cheap to buy games for as well.
Mhm.
On PS5, absolutely nothing. Dust Station 5. Steam Deck, more Hogwarts Legacy, and a lot more 2 Point Museum. I was playing it the other night. I was like, oh, I'm just going to do this like level or whatever. And I was like, oh, that was fun. And I looked and it was like 4 hours. And I was like, oh, shit. One of those games. But yeah, really good. Works great on Mac and Steam Deck. But
Are you in on the Hogwarts Legacy? I forgot to ask
I
you that last time we
am...
spoke.
What house am I?
Yeah.
I'm Ravenclaw.
Oh, okay.
And I am...
I think I was a Hufflepuff.
Nice. That weed. I think I'm about 17 hours in now. It's great on Steam Deck. Been really
Yeah, it's a
enjoying
really
it.
good game, that.
Works really well on a handheld. Obviously, it's not the prettiest of games on Steam Deck, but I'm pretty pleased with it.
Especially still better than the Switch.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I do wonder how it runs on the Switch. Whenever one of my friends at work plays it exclusively on the Switch, and she's played it like 200 hours. So, I guess some people don't care, right? But yeah, Lord knows how it runs on Switch. But on the Switch, I have played even more Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I'm now over 100, I think 120 hours. I think I'm over now. Into the thing. Still the best game on all consoles ever. It's the best. And then Pokemon Shield, which I'm really enjoying playing, going through the Sword and Shield game. I haven't played since launch. Really enjoying Shield. I have all the DLC to play. It's just a nice return to like kind of almost like a standardy Pokemon game. Really, like I quite like the British setting. Like it looks really nice. It runs really well. I don't know if it's had a lot of stability patches, but I haven't had any of the stutter or anything that certainly the later games have. But really enjoyed it. It's one of those things, like I know Pengi likes to roll his eyes and say Nintendo, but I generally speaking they make high quality games that look and are fun. So I'm not looking for a BAFTA nominated story. If I wanted a BAFTA nominated story, I would watch a TV show. So I'm pretty pleased with what I've been playing.
Yeah. Are you doing anything weird for Pokemon Shield? Because I started replaying it and I had a fire only type team.
I'm just kind of trying to use stuff that I haven't used before, right? Because you can do, like, if you play Pokemon enough, you know the ones that you just get a Gyarados and this and that. And I've just been trying to use the kind of weird and wonderful stuff that I'm finding. I can obviously, because it's the second playthrough, I understand the Dynamax stuff and the wild area stuff, and in places it is actually quite a challenging game when you do it that way. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I've got some of the DLC stuff early, so I have like the weird Slowpoke before I'm finishing the gym badges, so that's kind of fun. But it's just one of those it's difficult for like a non-Nintendo person, I think, but it's just a good game. Like, it's well made. All the content's there if you like the content. You know what I mean? Like, I like Pokemon, so it's a Pokemon game. It's fun. Like, I don't really like Monster Hunter that much, but I can see why people like it. You know what I mean? It's that kind of feel. Like, is Monster Hunter Wilds that different to Monster Hunter World? Like, probably not really. And Pokemon's kind of the same. It's like it's a Pokemon game, right? You know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
If that's what you want, it's great. But yeah, I've got quite a big backlog of Switch games. So if I am unable to afford a Switch 2 on Wednesday, then I will be plenty served with Switch games to play, and Steam Deck games, actually, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's it. I can't see, other than potentially playing It Takes Two with Craigo, I can't see a whole lot of PS5 happening anytime soon. Because they haven't put anything out I like in ages, Craigo. But yeah, there we go. And that is the poddy. Just the hour 45. Not bad. We will be back, like Pengi said, for a double bill on probably Wednesday night. For the Switch 2. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you got this far, drop a comment what you predict down below, and we will see you next time.
Bye.